But it's
I would rather
Allah entering into His
No,
creation.
but here's the thing. That's an issue that Muslims.
That's the one I want to debate.
But on what my position?
Yes, your position.
Yeah. So my thing with that, let me tell you now, to save you the time. I'll talk to you about anything else.
Great.
But on these issues, I don't talk about them to non-Muslims. Yeah? I talk about them to Muslims because with that, let me explain. That's an issue that Muslims have not agreed upon. Does that make sense?
What issues do you talk about?
He talks about
On central issues. Oh, no. Let me just finish. I'll just finish this off. With Christians, my policy, and Jews and atheists or anyone else, is for me it makes more sense to start off with issues of disagreement, like the Trinity, like the crucifixion, resurrection, incarnation, all those things. All those things were all Muslim.
Allah entering into His creation.
I understand, but then find someone else. Find Shamsi. Shamsi will be happy to argue.
Shamsi doesn't. He runs away every time. The reason why I came to you, Mohammed, because I know you're not someone who runs.
No, I don't.
Well, that is the elephant in the room. That is the elephant in the room. Can Allah enter His creation? That is the question that we don't get answers to. I have my good Muslim friends. Whenever I bring up this question, they like, it's controversial. We don't want to talk about it. They beat around the bush and they don't give you a direct answer. But can Allah enter His creation? And I have realized that the majority of the Muslims say no, Allah can't enter His creation. By doing so, it means the Muslims have confined Allah to Jannah. They have imprisoned their God in heaven. He can't come down. He cannot enter His creation. He can never enter and do something here because apparently they say it doesn't befit His Majesty to enter creation. The question is not about His Majesty, His power or authority. It is His ability. Can is about ability to do something. Yeah? Can He enter His creation? Majority say, no, He can't enter. It beats the reason of Him being God. But that directly contradicts what the Quran says. For example, if I can take you to, let me check here in my computer, Surah Al-Qasas, verse 29 to 30. Hear how it says. When Moses had completed the term and was traveling with his family, he spotted a fire on the side of Mount Tur. He said to his family, "Stay here, for I have spotted a fire. Perhaps from there I can bring you some directions or a torch from the fire, so you may warm yourselves." Verse 30. But when he came to it, that is to the fire, he was called from the bush in the sacred ground to the right side of the valley. "Oh, Musa, it is truly I am Allah, the Lord of all worlds." So you see, Allah is speaking through a burning bush. Well, there is the same, they copied this from the Bible, but they didn't know how incredibly bad an idea it was to copy this from the Bible, because now it beats Tawheed. Because when you tell me God is speaking through the fire, the next question will be, well, God was speaking through the fire. Who was in Jannah? If God can come and speak through the fire, who was in Jannah at that time? The Muslim will say, no, Allah is still in heaven. But it beats Tawheed, because for Tawheed it says, it emphasizes the oneness of Allah and that Allah is not divisible. So it would mean that Allah is in heaven at the same time speaking to Moses in the burning bush. Therefore, Allah is divisible. Therefore, Tawheed is false. You see? So this is the conundrum that Muslims have, that we don't face as Christians, because for us, the Trinity works in unison. Yeah? In unison. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit can be in different places at the same time. We don't have any problem with that. So when you say Allah is not divisible, Allah is only one, like Tawheed, this is the problem you get. And the Quran, when you go to another verse, this is Surat Al-Araf, 7:143. It says, "And when Moses arrived at our appointed time, and his Lord spoke to him, he said, "My Lord, show me yourself that I may look at you." Allah said, "You will not see me, but look at the mountain. If it should remain in place, then you will see me." But when his Lord appeared to the mountain, he rendered it level, and Moses fell unconscious. In other words, he destroyed the mountain. And when Moses awoke, he said, "Exalted are you. I have repented to you, and am the first of the believers." Well, first of the believers, that's a problem for another time anyway. Who is the first Muslim? So, who crushed the mountain? Who destroyed that mountain? If Allah can't enter his creation, then what happened to that mountain? Because we see in this verse that actually the mountain got destroyed. Well, we have people at Hyde Park and Speaker's Corner in London. These people, Bob the Builder, he pressed one of the best Muslim apologists in the UK, and that's Muhammad Hijab. He tried to press him about Allah entering his creation. Let's go into the video and you see what Muhammad Hijab had to say about it. You can't get a direct answer about this. So let's see this.
That has a difference of opinion with Islam.
But the thing is that there's virtually every topic that you have debated on, Muslims have different positions on.
No.
Like whether Muhammad is in the Bible or not. That is not a
yeah, but it's not
universally
creedal.
held
No, it's not creedal. It's not
exactly.
creedal. Yeah,
exactly.
It's not a creedal thing.
But the
It's not-
question,
yeah.
the question about Allah entering into his creation, you said
Yes.
you would tell me what the Hanbali position
So
is.
yeah,
So
the
what is that?
Hanbali position is that it's possible in a way that only God knows how.
How is that different from the Salafist position?
It's the same.
Yeah, okay.
It's the same. The Hanbalis, the only difference will be.
So there's really two camps.
Okay, so yeah. there's
Those
two
that
camps.
say can and those that say can't.
There's some that
Hashem's
say
leaving.
that can, and some that say that it wouldn't befit His Majesty
Okay.
to do so. Yeah.
So you do believe that Allah can enter into his creation?
The Hanbalite position, which is what I follow,
Yeah.
says that, for example, the third of the night and all that stuff is literal. It's actually dhahir.
Literal.
However,
Yep.
I like I said to you before, my policy when discussing with Christians, Jews, or atheists, or anyone who's non-Muslim, is not to tell you my position.
Yep.
It's to tell you that there's this position and there's also the Ash'ari position, which you could claim is actually majority of Muslims that are Sunni
Yep.
or that claim to be Sunni would follow,
Yep.
which is that actually that's not to be taken literally, but it's metaphoric.
Yeah, I'm aware of the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah. So this is the difference.
So the question is,
Yeah.
Hijab, I'm willing to go into this debate right now. However, I will be a man of my word. You said you wanted to do this in 2 weeks. So do you want to do it now or do you want to do it in 2 weeks?
No. What I'll say to you is, you can be a man of your word, but what I'll say to you is,
But
I
it's
would
about
rather look.
Allah entering into his
No,
creation.
but here's the thing. That's an issue that Muslims.
That's the one I want to debate.
But on what my position?
Yes, your position.
Yeah. So my thing with that, let me tell you now, to save you the time, I'll talk to you about anything else.
Great.
But on these issues, I don't talk about them to non-Muslims. Yeah? I talk about them to Muslims because with that, let me explain. That's an issue that Muslims have not agreed upon. Does that make sense?
What issues do you talk about?
He talks about
On
many.
central
He talks
issues.
about God
Oh, no.
becoming a man.
Let me just finish. I'll just finish this off. With Christians, my policy, and Jews and atheists or anyone else, is for me it makes more sense to start off with issues of disagreement, like the Trinity, like the crucifixion, resurrection, incarnation, all those things. All those things were all
Allah
Muslim.
entering into his creation.
I understand, but then find someone else. Find Shamsi. Shamsi will be happy to argue. with you on
Shamsi
that.
doesn't. He runs away every time. The reason why I came to you, Mohammed,
Yes,
because I
yes.
know you're not someone who runs.
No, I don't run. But
So that's why I want to debate.
But for me, no. My policy is this, and I've said this to you many times, and I've employed it with anyone who wants to talk to me. Yeah, I will not. This is my policy. I will not entertain denominational discussions with non-Muslims. It's like me coming to you and asking you about the Pope.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll talk about the Pope.
No, I understand, but look, like, here's the thing. That's things that Christians disagree on. Do you
Yes.
get it?
Yeah, yeah.
So what I'm saying to you, it would be foolish of me to kind of take on the mantle of a Protestant, or I'm not sure if you're Catholic or Protestant. I don't even
I'm
know.
just a Christian.
You're an Anglican, I think.
Just
yeah?
a Christian.
Yeah. So let's say you're just a Christian, non-denominational, whatever it may be.
Yep, that's it.
If you're non-denominational Christian, whatever it is, whether you take the position that the Pope is infallible in his rulings and so on, or don't take that position, it's a foolish thing for me and you to debate. You should be debating that with someone who disagrees
But
with you.
then if
within
you're going to
Christianity.
debate the Trinity, for example, or whether Christ can become a man,
Yes.
then he has the right to then reflect back
Yeah,
on what
but
you
I'm
say,
telling
because
you,
then,
it's a waste of
what you-
time. It's
yeah,
a
but
waste
what
of
you're
time.
saying is you're only
Why would-
debate
if-
and
what I'm
attack
saying is on that-
Christianity
Exactly.
on issues
but it's-
that
we're not here
you
to-
like,
look,
but then when he has a point
No.
to reflect
It's
back
say
on
he
what
beats
you
me.
believe.
Say he beats me in the debate. The majority of Muslims might agree with him. Do you get it? So he's not defeating Islam at all.
So
It's a
how do
waste
you
of time.
debate about the Trinity?
It's not a waste of
whether
time to
Christ
me.
was God.
Okay, but then
not a waste of time to
my
me.
remit in Speaker's
You're saying
Corner,
it's a waste of time. I'm saying
my
it's not.
remit in Speaker's Corner is not to get into interdenominational discussions.
Is there any Muslim here who's willing to debate Allah entering into his
Yeah,
creation?
no, go ask someone else
Any?
because that's not my. That's not my thing.
So, fair. So
Does that
now,
make sense?
you said you would. You
I
said
said
you
I
would.
would.
How can you be forgiven without
No,
the
I
shedding
want
of
to
blood?
debate
How can you
No, no.
debate
You know what I mean?
the Trinity
Well, come on,
without the
hijab.
person
Not on this
then
issue.
No one can
trying
intimidate you
to
in
go
this
back
part,
to
man.
your
No,
own
you
beliefs?
You can
to
debate
make
me
an
on this topic.
I would say
Let
to
me
you,
ask you,
honestly,
can you be forgiven
if you
without
say
the
to
shedding
me,
of blood?
What do Muslims say about it? Yeah.
Yeah.
My thing is Muslims disagree. Simple as that.
Great. So now
So-
explain
so-
to
so-
me. Isn't hold on one second.
I think we should stop there.
Isn't Islam meant to be a perfect guidance to
Yeah,
mankind?
but interpretations of it are there's different interpretations.
So there's problems
The
with the
Aqidah is the
way
same.
that the Quran
No, but
describes
on this
Allah.
question, on this
Aqidah is
question
solid.
of did Allah, can
Yeah.
Allah with
We
his
don't need to
essence.
get touchy feeling.
Can
I know I'm attractive, but
very
just hold
attractive.
yourself back.
No, I can't stop
I
it.
know. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
no, that's fine.
Do you tell all the men you're attractive? Really, Bob?
Always
Are you telling men nowadays you're
You always
attractive?
have to
Wow.
shout,
So-
Hashim.
so-
Wow.
Do you have like one tone of voice?
You believe. Am I right?
Like,
Correct me if
no,
I'm
Why
wrong.
don't you keep quiet when you're
The
supposed
Quran
to just be quiet?
is perfect
No one's talking
guidance
to
to
you.
mankind.
As usual, no one
Naked
talks to you.
doesn't naked doesn't mean
So-
naked.
so-
Yeah. Look up the
I
dictionary.
embarrassed you about that one. Exactly.
Get it?
And according to you, Christians, it's okay to be
Rooms of
naked.
different opinions.
According to you,
your prophet,
it's okay for
stop
Christians to be
using
naked.
the Quran.
What a freak.
Your prophet was naked.
Being naked is okay, according to him.
According to your prophet was naked.
And according to you, God was naked on the cross.
But what this
And he died by his own creation. What a
is
shame.
that
And he's
actually
born from
the
a
Quran
vagina.
has failed to be perfect guidance.
Shall I go on? Shall I go on?
Allah blew
No,
into a
the
vagina.
Quran
Yeah,
says-
that's where your God came
the
from.
Quran says-
That's where your God came
The
from.
Quran says-
Are you embarrassed?
Hashim,
Yes.
Hashim, calm down, bro.
Tell this boy to calm
Drinking
down.
too much coffee, mate. Calm down,
Bob,
Hashim.
Bob, stop telling people you look attractive to men.
Many people.
You believe Bob telling men that he looks attractive. What is your? I wonder where his orientation
Well,
is.
look, we're not going to be able to communicate like that.
Yeah, exactly, Mohammed. Let's go, bro. I told you to become a debate.
I would like to
Where's
debate.
Not on this issue. I said to you
the verse
before.
of
I'll say to you,
breastfeeding
look,
that was in the Quran?
if you
Where is it?
establish that can't be the case, then
Where's
it
the
doesn't
verse
mean
of
to
breastfeeding?
What it
Where's
establishes
the
is
verse
one
of
of two
breastfeeding?
things.
Suckling
The reason
an
why I
adult
want to
male.
prosecute this
Suckling
argument
an
is because
adult
whether
male.
you're an Ash'ari or a Salafist
God brought
Hanbali,
for a vagina
the
for
reality is
suckling.
you have problems
Can't get
with
worse than
what
that.
the Quran teaches.
The only God born from a vagina.
It's
are the
also
false
in the
gods.
Quran.
No, Nuzul is more about the Quran.
Does it say in the Quran? Does it say in the Quran that Allah's hands are on their hands?
No, but the Quran here.
Does it say that?
Yeah, it does say that, yeah.
Right. So we are talking about
No, but you didn't say about hand. You said before, your question was to do with Nuzul.
when Allah's hands.
Nuzul is not in the Quran of Allah.
When Allah's
Nuzul
hands-
is in the Hadith.
When Allah's hands are on their hands, is Allah's hands in creation?
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing, yes. So,
Literalist.
now, first of all, let me tell you what all Muslims agree with, yeah?
Okay, go on.
Yeah, all Muslims agree that Allah's hand
Yep.
is not, what is referred to as Allah's hand
Yep.
is nothing that can be conceived of anthropomorphically.
Right.
In other words,
So it's not a hand.
it's not a physical hand like this or anything. No, and no
So it's
Muslim
not
agrees
a
with
hand.
it. Absolutely not a fleshy hand.
So the
the way
Quran
you
is
think.
not clear when it says a hand because that
Absolutely.
word is meaningless.
No. That word
it
has a
begins to
meaning,
see.
but the meaning it does not. What we know it does not mean. What it does not mean is
Yes.
that it's a fleshy hand
Great.
of the creation.
That's telling
yeah.
me what it doesn't mean. What does it mean?
So what we know about the hand, anything that's referred to. This is,
Like
okay,
cave.
good. So good.
cave.
So anything.
don't
My
know.
view, yeah.
Okay.
You want my
Say
view?
it right.
My view on the matter is that when any of the attributes are presented in the Quran, we know what it does not mean. What it does not mean is that it can be related to anything within creation.
Great.
Yes.
Now answer me this.
Yes.
Is the point of communication...
It's not going to end, bro.
Is the,
We
is
need
the
to go.
point-
Come on, let's go.
Is the point of
Run away,
communication...
Hashim.
Last question.
No, it's a
Yeah.
statement.
No, last
It's
question.
a statement.
Do you
What's the
wanna-
point? Is the
So,
point?
do you wanna answer the
point. You can't shut up for 2 minutes. So in terms of communication, you would agree the point of saying something positively is to communicate something.
Yes.
Right. So when Allah says in His book that His hands are on their hands,
Yeah, but it's not
what
about
positively is that communicated?
It's okay, fantastic, yeah. So from an Ash'ari perspective, they say it's metaphorical.
But you're not Ash'ari.
I understand, but I'm giving you because I'm representing Islam. I want to represent
but-
Islam. I'm going to talk about both schools.
but now you're only representing
hold
the
on.
Ash'ari side of
I'm
it.
going to tell you both.
Go on.
The Ash'aris say it's metaphoric or it means power.
Yeah.
Okay. For the most part, that's what they will say.
Yeah.
Among the Ash'aris, there are some who will say actually it's tafweed. That's a different discussion. A third school of thought will say it has a functional. The only thing that is similar between it and the creation is the functionality. In other words, just like but basically, functionally, Allah's a king. Yeah, let me explain. Me and you say, oh, God is a king, sovereign. Yeah.
Carry on.
So me and you both say God is sovereign, but one of the meanings that the word king entails in a worldly sense is a man. But me and you, I'm not talking about, let's say, I'm not talking about Jesus now, because you say Jesus is man. But both of us will say the Father is not a man, yeah?
Carry on.
So the word king here, one of the meanings of it, of what it means in this world, is a man. But me and you will say, but actually that's not what is intended, because the face of Allah, the face of God, the hand of God, and so on, that's also in the Bible. Do you get it? So there's the same disagreements that existed amongst Muslims, existed amongst Jews and Christians on these issues. I can prove it to you. For example, now hold on. So on the question
You're talking about the hands of Allah.
The hands of God in the Bible, Old Testament.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the face of God, the eyes, and all of that is in the Old Testament.
Jacob wrestled with God.
Now, Jacob. Now, all of that is in the Old Testament and the Bible. Yes. Now, the question is, the question is, how have scholars of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam interpreted those words? Jewish scholars, I've read it myself, Talmudic text, Midrashic text. You can see if you want references, I can show it to you.
I'm not a Jew.
For example,
from
the
Old Testament.
The Old Testament scholars, and if you look at also some of the patristic, what do you call it, commentaries and homilies of the biblical text, some patristic scholars took it literally. Some, like Origen, did not. They were very clear allegorists. So the idea of allegorization of the attributes of God is a question that's not Muslim specific. Do you get it?
But you haven't answered my question.
So what I'm saying to you is,
after all of this, you still haven't answered my question.
My question is this:
what is communicated in the Quran when it says that Allah's hands are on their hands?
Bob, let me explain to you. This question, the answer is this: there's a difference of opinion among Jews, Christians, and Muslims.
And with that we should finish. Let's go.
About the Quran.
Hold on.
I'm talking about the Quran.
No, I'm saying the same things that the Quranic commentators.
Stay with the
I'll stay with the
Quran.
Quran. The same things.
You mentioned the Quran.
I have mentioned the Quran.
Exactly.
The same things that the Quranic commentators and mufassirs or exegetes and also creedal experts have disagreed upon. Do you know what I find really interesting about Bob?
So far, all you've said
let me
is
say
all you've said is
It won't end, bro. It won't end.
everything except the topic. Hijab. The topic is what is communicated by their hands, by Allah's hand on their hands.
Okay, fine.
Does Allah's hand enter into creation? Yes or no?
No, let me explain. Everyone knows. Let me explain to you what all Muslims agree on is laysa kamithlihi shay'un wa huwa as-sami'ul basir. Chapter 42, verse 11. All Muslims agree upon that, which is that the fleshy hand that I have here, or what we refer to as hand in this world, is not what that verse is communicating.
So what is communicated? That was the original question.
Yes.
It's now the fourth time I've repeated myself.
So this is where the difference between it. And Ash'ari would say it's metaphoric, it means the power of God. And Athari would say, and Athari meaning a Hanbali, meaning a Salafi as well, because it's the same thing. They would say that the hand here is referring to something which is called hand, but functionally operates in a way that only Allah knows best.
Exactly.
Okay. So
and
what
with that
you're
we should
saying
finish.
is, is Allah's hand entering into creation?
No, the hand is a sifa, it's not a that. Do you get it?
Is it entering into
but
creation?
Hold on.
Whatever you want to call it, is it entering into creation?
Let me explain. There's a difference between a that and sifat.
Is it entering into creation?
Let me explain the answer to the question, yeah?
To my question, not the one you're asking yourself.
Yeah, so the sifa of Allah is in the creation. For example, a sifa, sorry, let me say in English, I'm saying in Arabic. In English, the sifa is an attribute of God.
Yep.
Whereas the essence is called the that.
Yes.
So everyone agrees that the attributes of God can enter the creation, are in the creation. For example, the attributes of God, of knowledge, God's knowledge is everywhere.
So,
do you get it? God's power is everywhere.
So the attributes are divisible from the essence?
They're not divisible.
So where Allah's attributes are, Allah is there?
No. What we're saying is that
Allah does enter
we
into
both
his creation.
believe that God is essence and attributes.
Does he enter his
We
creation?
both believe that.
I think the better term is it manifests in the creation.
Yes.
But it doesn't enter in the sense of the essence.
So it's the hand.
So the love of the mercy of Allah, the knowledge of Allah.
Yeah, you get it.
It manifests.
It's an attribute.
Yes.
So it's an attribute. It enters into.
It manifests in the creation.
Okay.
So
it enters into creation.
Manifests into the creation.
So Allah can enter into creation.
Manifest is the same as entering.
No, it's not.
So in my view,
Mercy manifest doesn't mean entering.
Yes, manifesting is
Go and look up the word.
if he wants
I know what it means.
No, you don't know.
Yes,
But that's not the
exactly.
You don't know the meaning of naked.
Hashim is shouting very loudly.
Now, Bob, second thing, can I say something really important?
Yeah.
Yeah, so his,
But
you said
still-
yeah, and then you started talking.
Because you can.
Go on.
Paper
But I
boy
do
got
want to bring
shredded
you
so
back
many
to the
times.
something
I know,
that
but when I
you've
said
avoided.
naked,
I'm glad you know.
Which
haven't
is
avoided
that?
anything, I've
been
So
shredded so
I'll
many
ask it
times.
again and you'll see why you've avoided
Go on.
it. We have said
Manifest. Very
what
simple, Bob.
is
Come on.
communicated when it says Allah's hands are on their hands, because what you've done is say everything it isn't.
Yes,
But you
sir.
haven't said what it is.
Okay, we don't know what it is.
You don't know, so
Yeah,
it's
we-
not
Be
clear.
like Kaif, we don't know
So
how.
it's not clear
So we
guidance.
don't know how.
So it's not clear guidance because you don't know.
We don't
No,
know
it's
how it
clear.
operates. We don't know what
Without
that
how.
means. Yeah, we say we let
So it's not clear guidance.
Be like
We say,
Very
yeah,
simple.
absolutely. We say that in these matters of attributes of God,
Yes.
in regards to howness, we
Exactly.
don't know how.
It's
Simple
been the
as that.
general
So
statement
nothing
of all
is
the
communicated
all the
there.
No, it's
And
incomprehensible.
your
It's
definition
incomprehensible
to,
for us
manifest
to know how that manifests.
Does the
Obvious
Quran
to
describe
the
itself
eye
as being
or
clear
mind.
guidance?
Exactly.
It
No
does,
answer.
but
Does
hey,
it enter?
does.
But
Does
let
that
me-
apply to all
Thank
of
you.
the Quran or just some
No,
of the
but here's the
Quran?
thing.
Or the eye.
Let me explain.
To
Are you-
the
it
eye.
doesn't say enter.
To the
Yes.
eye.
You lost.
To
No,
the
no, no.
eye.
It's not about winning or losing.
Just
These people might be actually.
Again,
lost.
embarrassing.
I'm interested.
Okay, fine, fine.
That's why I came to you.
No, good.
See, I schooled you again.
So, Bob.
Okay.
Bob, sorry.
Pepper
Let me
boy,
let me
just shut
finish
it again.
what I'm
So
saying.
something doesn't enter,
Hey,
but
hey,
you can see it with
but,
your eye.
what's
If you
your
should
name?
walk naked, you might know
George.
better.
What's your name?
Paperboy.
George.
George.
Yeah, George.
What?
George.
George. What?
Let's go, bro. Come on. I'm
No,
hungry.
no,
Come
let me
on.
finish. Hey. No, this is an interesting topic. Do you know why? I actually did my research. I looked at
Brilliant. You can talk about it great.
No, please, Bob. I
God
beg you,
wrestles with Jacob.
I
Let's
beg you,
explain
listen.
that.
Hashim, I'm talking to him.
Wait.
Hashim, we
And he
have
lost.
no problem.
And Jacob lost. Sorry, God lost. Jacob won.
No, I know that.
WWF.
Muslims are the ones that have a problem with God entering into
hold on.
creation.
Guys. Let me just.
Christians have no problem walking naked like they or wrestling with
I'm
God.
honestly trying to listen to you.
What I'm saying to you is, when I've done my research, I found basically, generally speaking, I looked at
God died by his creation.
I looked at the mid
Hashim,
That's the
trust
worst.
me.
That's the worst part.
on these issues. Forget about the
Humiliated and
Trinitarian
killed by his own
aspect for now,
creation.
yeah? Put in the Trinitarian
Can you tell us
aspect.
about when the black
Put
And
in
he
stone
the-
says, my God, why did you
When the
abandon
black
me?
stone was stolen and used as a toilet.
Doesn't matter. Black stone is not God. It's not
Where was the
God.
bird?
Say what you need to
Black
say.
stone is not God, but
George,
you're
hold on
God.
for a second.
Hashim.
Just
Well, tell him to shut up.
One minute,
Tell him to
George.
shut up.
George, please.
The guy behind you.
What I'm saying is
Toilet
that.
paper boy.
Hashim, shush.
Let's go, Muhammad. Yalla.
Give me 1 minute.
I told you to
I
become a
just wanna say
debate.
one thing. What I was going to say is that I was, on my research, putting the hypostatic union to the side.
The question
No,
is
Died
about
on the
communication.
cross by
I
his
was
own
trying to.
creation.
George was talking.
The question is about the communication.
Let me just say
What is communication?
Yes, I'm
the
saying.
clear guidance
Let me-
that the Quran says that it
Listen,
is.
Bob, don't be ridiculous. Because you're a clever man, yeah?
Yeah, I am. Trying.
You're a clever
Go
man,
on.
so you're not ridiculous.
So when it says it's clear guidance,
Well,
does that
well,
apply
well,
to all of the
Bob,
Quran or just some of
you're
them?
an intelligent man,
Naked
so I'm not
doesn't always
going
mean
to,
naked.
I'm going to speak
walk
to you as if
naked.
you're an
One poison the
guy,
lamb
yeah?
of yours.
What I'm
Maybe
saying
he'll
is that
speak to you after you.
putting the hypostatic
Walking
union to
naked.
the side
Yep.
and putting the Trinitarian concept to the
honestly.
side.
I know.
Now,
But he's
looking
a
at
prophet
what
was
is...
naked.
George!
What the
Stop.
Quran
Why don't you?
says.
Have you heard? Why is it you don't
Talking
listen to
about
Hashim's
Islam.
words?
Muhammad, let's go, man.
Quran.
Now, let me finish. Give me 1 minute.
It's Hashim that is talking nonsense.
Hold on,
It's him
Hashim.
that's talking nonsense,
George.
and I'm responding to
Alright.
him.
So what I'm saying is that, putting that to the side, what I found,
Yes.
looking at the patristic and the rabbinic material, the
Talking
midrashim.
about the Quran.
Hold on. I'm going to make it easier for you to understand.
I don't need to. Just talk about the
You're a
Quran.
clever man. I'm going to talk about the Quran, believe me. Yeah?
Okay, let's get to the
the
Quran.
The same discussions that commentators and exegetes had
Yep.
about the attributes of God, yeah, especially those which have meanings which could be construed as anthropomorphistic, like hand, face, whatever.
Yep.
Have already been had between Jews and Christians as been had with Muslims. Here's the biggest difference, and this is something I want people to know, yeah. Wallahi, it's such a amazing thing.
Not your sales pitch.
No, it's
Get
not,
to the
it's-
Quran.
Just be quiet for a second, man.
talking about the
Patience,
Quran.
Bob, patience.
Just
You'll
be
get
quiet
it.
for a second, man. Do you know now the Muslim world, the Sunni Muslim world, those who claim to be Muslim,
Yep.
they divide on this issue of Isma or Sifat, or the issue of names and attributes. Now, what I found mind-boggling is that those same differences that Muslims have now are the same exact differences that Jews and Christians also had. However, the difference is Muslims actually divided into sects because of it, whereas Jews and Christians on these issues never divided into sects because of these issues. You know why? Because
you don't tell me.
no,
We're talking about the Quran.
Let me just finish.
We're not
Let me
talking
finish.
about
Let me finish.
history.
Let me
We're
finish.
talking about
It's interesting. Let me finish.
So Bob, allow me. Allow me. Give me 10 seconds.
Well, stick to the subject, Hijab. You have said,
Just give me 10 seconds.
Let them talk.
Hijab, you have been very patient. You have been speaking.
You
You wasted your time talking about hadith.
Bob, let me just give me 10 seconds.
What does he say?
10 seconds.
You have said.
I said, you
You
know
have
why?
said.
He said, you know why? And I'm not going to finish.
No,
Let me finish and then you can talk.
no.
Yeah,
One
but get to
second.
the point.
Hijab.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the point, but the guy
You're
is
going
Get
around
to
the
the
way.
point of the Quran.
We're asking
but
you
you're
about
not letting me
pieces, you're
talk.
talking
I know what
about-
you talk. Okay,
Go
good.
on.
About the Quran.
Do you know why? The reason why the Jews and Christians...
Not the Quran.
Is that, tell us the Islamic perspective.
Let me finish off what I'm saying.
It won't end.
Let me finish. Bro,
Why
I
is it
can't
when we
talk to
talk
you.
to a Muslim, we can never talk about Islam? There was a dimension in the Bible, Christianity,
We're
I'm not
talking
talking
about
about church history.
Can you just tell us
I'm not
about
talking
We're
about
Islam?
talking about your theology.
Give me 5 seconds. Give me 10 seconds.
When it
Can you give me 10
says-
seconds?
We want to learn about Islam.
Bro, this is impossible.
Let's go then. Let's go. If you go, yalla. Ma salama.
In 2 weeks.
You don't let me talk, bro.
In 2 weeks,
You
we'll do
don't
it
let me
time.
talk. It's nonsense.
We want to
do it
know.
time.
No,
There's a
Jordan, it's
hadith.
fine. I don't want to hear your voice.
I'm 100% sure, or 111% sure, that you did not get an answer from that. Neither did I. Did you get a direct answer from Muhammad Hijab? Remember, Muhammad Hijab is cream de la cream, the best of the best debaters amongst the Ummah. So he couldn't give you an answer. He deflected, he tried to shuffle, he tried to run away. Oh, he finally ran away. But here's the opportunity to the rest of the Muslims out there who have watched this. Can Allah enter his creation or not? Guys, why can't you answer this? It's so simple. So I believe that we can get better answers from doing live streams. We can get better answers if maybe we do, question and answer directly, Q&A in real time. But my subscriber count is still low. Guys, help me reach 50 subscribers, just 50, because at 50, there I can start doing lives, and we invite Muslims and they answer this directly. So commit jihad on that subscribe button, like, comment, share, recommend this channel to others such that we grow together. I really would like to delve much more into this world of apologetics, and I can't do it without you guys. Don't just view, but also subscribe. That will give me the power and the hikmah to go into making live streams, and we invite Muslims over such that we can hear what they have to say. So subscribe, guys. Help me reach 50, at least a subscriber count of 50, such that I can start running lives. Because I believe when we post the videos and we ask these questions, not a single Muslim will come here and comment within the comment section to explain the whole thing. But when we do lives, perhaps we can get answers from that. Thank you very much for watching. Please come back for more. Don't miss out. A lot is in store on this channel, so come back and we have fun with our lovely brothers and sisters from the Ummah. Thank you very much.